What is up, everyone? Happy Fantasy Friday. Today, we're doing a tier list for the characters in the Mistborn series. But first, I just want to say I know I've said this in some of my other videos, but I'm doing a Discord book club for The Way of Kings. Yeah, that'll be linked top line of the description. If you want to join, we are starting the book on Sunday. So definitely check out the Discord if you want to read along with us. Also, the book is pretty long, obviously. Most of you here probably know Sanderson writes long books, but these are his longest books. Also, I haven't read them yet, so obviously please no spoilers, but I mean, we welcome rereaders. I have at least two people in there that are rereaders, so yeah, you could definitely join them. But anyway, let's get right into the tier list video now. Here we go. Guys, I have two monitors and I just recorded this entire video while recording the wrong monitor. Oh my gosh. All right. So, we're going to do this again, but I've learned from my mistakes. First of all, we're going to full screen it. Second of all, we're going to go down here and get these four main characters because no one cares about all these other characters, do they? All right. Oh, and by the way, I didn't make this tier list. I'll try to give whoever did make it, if I can find out who did make it, credit in the comments or in the description below. Yeah, so anyway, these four characters. Kelsier goes in the Tansoon tier. I actually, you know what? They all do. These are the characters I loved. They don't go in this order. I think Tansoon. So Tansoon is the best. Tansoon made book 3 great. Like the culture of the Khandra, all of that I loved. And a lot of it I feel like was because it was through Tansoon's eyes. We got to see like all the generations and like the different, views on the world and all of that. That was great. Kelsier, a true revolutionary Kelsier is. Hold up, I'm going to make my face bigger because this is just a vanity project for me. I need my face to be huge. Uh, oh, by the way, I forgot to say spoilers, but obviously, guys, this is a tier list. There's going to be spoilers. Also, I slurred my words a tiny bit there. I've had a tiny bit of pink wine tonight because I'm an idiot and I recorded the wrong screen. So I needed a little bit of wine. I'm sorry. Kelsier and Vin, I go back and forth on these two. Vin, after the first book, I loved. I thought she was amazing. She had a great arc. She had great personal growth, um, which are like kind of baseline. But beyond that, her interaction with the world and the magic system was amazing. Her like brother talking in her head was amazing. And like, looking back as someone who's read the whole series, that is crazy to think back that those like clues were dropped in the first book. Everything about Vin, she goes top tier. Kelsier is a true revolutionary, trying to kill the main baddie in the world. What a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him. It didn't quite pay off for him, but we love the effort and we love his spirit. His spirit is who he was and how he inspired people. And, not to get too like philosophical about the world or anything, but why are we all here? Are we here to help people? Are we here to inspire people? Are we here to fight for equality for all? I think yes. And you know what? Even though Kelsier was just in the first book, he is a good man and he fought for the right things. Elland is not a revolutionary. This man, oh my goodness. I could do a huge defense of Elland because, you know, the majority of the nobles are like, yeah, the Ska are so dumb. They don't understand anything. Blah, blah, blah. The Ska suck. They should be slaves. But Elend had the audacity to be like, maybe the Ska have as much mental capacity as humans do. Maybe, though. And maybe not. I don't know. Let's ask Vin about it. His interactions with Vin in the first book were hilarious, and I did like Elend in the first book. And, you know, that sort of like that sort of pessimism about the Ska and are they as smart as us? And, is everything we know about the Lord Ruler a lie? That is difficult in a super propagandized society like what they live in under the Lord Ruler. And the fact that it takes Elend a little bit longer to get there than people who are in the oppressed class like Kelsier and Vin, you know, that's kind of par for the course a little bit. It makes it like honest and genuine. And, I like that. So Ellen does go in the Tansoon tier, even though in the second and the third book, whatever, he's fine. But I loved him in the first book. All right, let's move on. Mare, she wasn't in the book. What else can we say? Picture of a flower, picture of a flower, picture of a flower. Mare, lowest tier. Human. It is what it is. That's a good tier name for the second lowest tier. I was not that interested by human. Yeah, I like, whatever. The giants, whatever they're called, they're kind of cool. It's interesting to know where they came from, and you kind of get that through human, but, human himself, not that interesting. All right, let's talk about preservation and ruin, the gods. Whatever. I wasn't too big on the gods. I feel like gods in general might play a bigger role in the Cosmere. Maybe I'm dumb and don't know what I'm talking about, but definitely join my Discord because we're going to be reading more of the Cosmere. So, yeah. But these two, they're all right. Low mid tier. That's fine. Basically, everything in mid tier and higher, like thumbs up generally, and everything below that, like I don't really care about. These are like I barely care about them. I don't know. They're just gods, right? They're not that interesting. They're just kind of regular gods, like a evil god and a good god. Let's go with Set. Actually, there are three. I'm going to go with all of these antagonists at the same time. So Strath, Lord Ruler, Set in three different tiers. Strath, let's start with him. So he's obviously like the worst human being. Like if I were at a bar and I got to choose to be with Strath, the Lord Ruler, or Set, I would definitely not choose Strath. He would be the last person on the list. But his like evilness, his skeeviness, like he gives me the heebie jeebies when I read about him. And that's great. He's the villain. He's supposed to like give me like make me uncomfortable. And that's what I love about Straff. He's so good at being evil. And he's not like the main villain. He can't be in like the god tier just because of that. But him being horrible makes me love him. I can't describe it any more than that. The Lord Ruler. So he was a little basic. He's kind of like the Emperor in Star Wars. It's like, oh, he rules everything, blah blah blah. But yeah, he definitely gets fleshed out more in the second and the third book, which I really wasn't expecting. I thought he was just gonna be like the bad guy the whole time, but you really sympathize with the Lord Ruler at the end of the third book, which was so weird. So yeah, high mid tier for Lord Ruler. Set. This is a classic like random villain that shows up, doesn't do anything. He's like less bad than the more powerful bad people. So like I don't know, interactions with him don't feel like they have all that many stakes whatsoever. Like he shows up, he tries his thing in the middle of a book, and like he kind of gets shut down because it's the middle of a book and not the end of the book. and like if he were to succeed, the book wouldn't make sense because like why is like the minor villain succeeding? And then after that in the third book, he just wasn't that interesting. I don't know what else to say. All right, let's talk about Terrace people. First, we'll talk about Zazen. I loved him in the first two books. He would have been in the Tansoon tier for sure. For sure. But the third book, it was just so cliche. It it wasn't interesting. He was boring and annoying to follow. He wouldn't even be in the second tier for the third book. He would be like here maybe. I don't even know. Um and I guess the first book he wasn't like super involved or interesting either. I feel like he saved the second book in a lot of ways though. Like him thinking his interactions with Vin and Ellen were hilarious when like Vin would go in the room first and then leave and then Ellen would go in the room right after. Classic, classic, classic. And then him with Tindril, Tindwell, however you wish to say that name. She died too soon. I mean, you know, obviously she's only in one book. I think she was likable in all her interactions in the second book, which I thought was the weakest book. And it may look like I'm defending like the main side characters from the second book, and I am so far. Did I talk about Tindril enough? I don't know. She's good, guys. She's good. I don't know what else to say. I've had a lot of pink wine tonight, so it is what it is. My pink wine drinking is in the fourth tier. But yeah, second book. Who did I not like? This dude. Man, like I get him more after reading the third book. I do get Zane more. But my goodness, I could not possibly think of like a more uninteresting story arc. Like, boy hates his dad, whatever, whatever, then tries to get like the girl that his more successful brother is going for. So it's like a little cliche. And then it's also like he just seems unhinged. And like, yes, guys, I get why. I get why he's unhinged. But I don't know. I don't know, dude. And also, I get why from like a levels of power perspective he has to be there. Like Straff has to have a Mistborn, but like the Mistborn can't be too powerful as to be able to allow Straff to just take the city. Like I get all that. And like it was clever for Sanderson to do that, but I just hated his parts. I don't know what else to say. I get why he's there. I respect why he's there. I get why he's insane. I just don't like him. I really don't like him. All right, let's do the gang. We've got Dax and Hammond. This is whatever Breeze's girlfriend slash Seth's daughter. Clubs, Marsh, Breeze, Spook. We'll go top to bottom. So Spook is my favorite of them. I love his arc in the third story. Him and then the girl, which is not in this tier list, but I like both of them together. I like Spook getting corrupted by these spikes. It's like Zane, but with Spook in that book, it actually explains what's going on. So I don't know, it felt more natural for me reading that book. And yeah, like, I know he's on like his weird little island that almost doesn't matter in the grand scheme of things, but I like it. I like it a lot. Him getting more powers is cool and interesting, and he always felt like he didn't have enough powers. Overall, like Spook. We're Spook fans. Drink to Spook. Breeze. I like him. Philosophically, he's interesting. You know, he's like, yes, of course I'm manipulative, but isn't everyone manipulative in some way or another? And like he makes his own case very well for, you know, influencing people the way he does. And that is very interesting. And then Straff's daughter influences him, which is just like hilarious. It's like, you know, subverts expectations. It's interesting. Also, beyond her and Breeze, her interactions with Vin, I enjoyed when they go dress shopping. That was actually, I like wasn't expecting to like that scene, but it was hilarious. She's hilarious when she rides out of the city with them and she's like, all right, bye. That's just so funny. She's both good at subverting expectations and also just like being funny and like, manipulating people to think she's like a dumb princess or whatever. Hammond. I feel like I should have done Breeze and Hammond together because they're like bros, right? Hammond goes here. He's just a contrarian. Contrarians aren't that interesting to me. And, I don't know how to say this without talking about like real world politics, but contrarians, if you follow real world politics, are just like a dime a dozen. And, whatever, both sides. Like when I was doing the New York Times tier list, I'm like, Gail Collins, I don't know what she would talk about if she wasn't just being a contrarian to Trump all the time. And I didn't quite word it like that, but I basically did. And Hammond is an interesting contrarian because he does it in such a way that he's like philosophical about it, I guess, which is kind of cool. And at the end, he like actually makes a stance like, this is wrong. And that is also cool. If it weren't for that, he would be lower. But I don't know, he ground my gears a little bit throughout the series. It was just too much contrarianism. Dachshund, you know what? Dachshund's lower than Hammond, actually. Dachshund actually was pretty cool in the first book. Interactions with Kelsier, I liked, but like I didn't like them that much. And in the second book, he fell off of a cliff. I literally don't think he had an interaction in the second book that I was like, bam, this is why Dachshund's here. He might as well not have been there. And these are kind of aggressive pink wine takes that I'm having right now. It's mostly because I'm recording this for the second time, and I am just like, boom, very over the top a little bit, but it is how I feel. I will co-sign to all these beliefs. These captains, we're just gonna put them here. They weren't that interesting. All right, clubs. Clubs we're going to put at the bottom of iconic. He's a very iconic grizzled war veteran sort of thing, whatever. He doesn't trust anyone, which makes it funny with his interactions with Breeze, but then they become kind of boys in the second book. So I like all that. And Club's dying was sad, objectively. If I feel sad when they die, they're iconic. New rule. Can I do a new rule Bill Maher voice or something? New rule. If the Democrats don't like clubs, I don't I don't even know where I'm going with this. All right, anyway, we're All right. All right, I'm sorry. I keep laughing at myself. All right. Marsh. Marsh is very interesting. I do have a lot to say here. His perspective, he has different perspectives in all the books, which is cool. And you understand why, because he has like strong influencing factors on him throughout all the books. And even like within a book, like the first book, he's like with Kelsier, even though he's kind of like skeptic of Kelsier. And then he's like a deep spy agent within the Steel Inquisitors or whatever. So yeah, it's like the same person but very different perspectives. And then the third book as well, he's like trying to resist ruin, and that's very interesting. But like I felt like I understood him and his love of Mare, sort of, or whatever. I don't even know what it was, but like he had a good moral compass, and all his scenes throughout all the books, whatever his role was, whatever he was being strongly influenced by, that affected his actions, and that made him an interesting character to follow and a good character to like root for overall, I thought, even though he was in definitely like very weird perspectives. It also gave like a perspective from like the bad guy's perspective, which I thought was overall lacking. Like the only good villain I have here is Straff, really. And Marsh is kind of a villain towards the end, but he's not, but he is. Like Ruin is just like a random evil god. Set whatever. Lord Ruler was like just a fairly standard baddie. And Straff and Marsh were really the best villains. And by best, I don't mean most powerful, of course. I just mean like when I hear them speak, I'm like uncomfortable and I don't really like them. Anyway, that's everything. I'm sad I had to record all of this again, but it is what it is. Yeah, like, comment, subscribe. Join the Way of Kings book club. Oh, there it is. Join it. Join it. Or just join my Discord generally. We'll read other books as well over the next year or a few years, hopefully. We'll see how long all of this goes. Let me know your favorite flavor of wine. How about that? Pink wine, white wine, or red wine? Like, comment, subscribe. See ya.